Here we go. Recording in progress. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're going to go a little bit mellow today. Hope everyone can hear me all right. I don't know why I think that you can't. Everything is in place as it should be. And we're going to start in the seated position. We're going to stay in the seated position for a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of breathing. So with your right hand, unless you're left-handed, then you can do it with the other hand. We're going to do the Deer Mudra, which is middle finger down, index finger down, trying to keep the other up so you can have your deer antlers. The knuckle of the pointing finger is going into the third eye. 2 fingers closing left nostril. Thumb will come down eventually, but right now it's up, and we're going to breathe in through the right. We're closing both, and we're going to breathe out through the left. We're breathing back in through the left. We're closing both and out through the right. In through the right. Closing both, out through the left. In through the left. Closing both, out through the right. In through the right. Closing both, out through the left. Again, in through the left. Closing both, out through the right. In through the right. Closing both, out through the left. Couple more, in through the left. Closing both, out through the right. In through the right. Closing both, out through the left. And then I'm going to go back further a little bit. We're going to put the hands on the knees. We're going to do more breathing. And we're going to breathe, of course, the whole hour. But for now, hands on the knees. And we're going to breathe with some movement. We're going to breathe in and reach up. We're going to breathe out and bring the hands all the way down. We're going to breathe in all the way up again. Back down. Excellent. Over and over. Breathing in, getting the lungs real long with the up. Breathing out all the way back down. A few more of these all the way back up. Breathing in. Breathing out, back down. More than a few more. Keep on going. Breathing in all the way up. Breathing out, back down. Breathing in all the way up. Breathing out, back down. Breathing in, up again. Here we go. Breathing out, back down. Breathing in all the way up. And breathing out, back down. Let's pull our shoulders back and our core in. We're going to try to keep the shoulders as they are. We're going to reach the right hand forward, fingers pointing down, so the thumb will point out and away, and we're going to grab and pull back the fingers just a little bit and take several breaths here. Very nice. Let's do the other side of that. Left hand out, and we're going to grab those fingers and pull back, and we're going to breathe here. All the breathing tonight is in and out through the nose. Excellent. Hands on the knees, straight spine to the crown of the head. We draw a big circle on the sky or the ceiling sky. We keep breathing. Very nice. Let's reverse directions. And back to center. We're going to reach the right arm all the way up. We're going to bring that hand down the back. And the left hand's going to grab the elbow, head pushes against the arm, core pulling back. We're going to breathe here. Good, let's switch. Left arm up and then down the back. We grab the elbow, head pushes against the arm, core pulling in, breathing here. Great, arms back down. Every time we do a reverse plank, you're welcome to vinyasa. We're going to reverse plank, toes forward, fingers, palms down under the shoulders, so they're a bit back. Going to lift up, look at the ceiling, and then back down. And we're going to bend the right leg with the right sole against the thigh. Left hand's going to grab either the left toe to the shin, or if you have a belt. And we're going to dynamic move on this one. So up on the in-breath and down on the out-breath, including the shoulder, and all the way back up. And please, over and over, always the out-breath on the downward fold. Good. Next time you're up, we're going to stay up, looking to the reaching hand. And we're going to come down again, but keep the shoulders back, keep the head up, and stare straight forward, lengthening through the leg. Of course, you can grab the shin. We want the leg straight. We're going to take several breaths right here. Very nice. Let's do the other side of that. So right foot out and right hand is going to grab either the right toes or the shin. We're coming all the way up on the in-breath and then all the way back down and then up again. And yes, please, over and over. Keep going, out breath on the downward fold. And great, next time you're up, again, we stay up and we'll look to the reaching hand, breathing here. Good, and then we're gonna bring both hands down, shoulders back, staring straight forward. We're gonna take several breaths right here. Excellent. We're going to reverse plank. You're welcome to vinyasa. Hands behind us. We're going to lift the hips up and back down. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. And we're going to pull them in pretty tight. And we're going to start with Badakanasana A, left hand grabbing the small toes, right hand on top. And we're going to sit up really tall. I think we might do 3 versions of this. So this is version number 1. You're welcome to butterfly the legs. We're going to breathe here. Good. So we're going to maintain a hold of the feet. The feet are going to stay down, so don't pull them up, but we're going to use them as leverage so they stay locked. And we're going to forward fold, pushing the elbows against the legs, trying to put the heart on the big toes and trying to maintain shoulders back and together. So that's a lot. Do your best. Let's breathe. Good. Back up. So we're going to do the 3rd version, which is the first version of this pose I ever learned. So we're going to take the thumbs down into the arches of the feet. And we're going to turn those feet like we're trying to open them up like a book. And then again, we're going to forward fold and put our heart down into that book. And you can still put the elbows against the legs. And we're trying to turn those feet open. And we're trying to forward fold. We're maintaining the shoulders back and together. We're going to breathe here. Good. Back up for the reverse plank. Those of you that want to vinyasa are welcome to. Uplifting. And then all the way back down. We're going to cross the legs so that we can do some dynamic forward fold. I'm sorry, dynamic twisting. We already did the dynamic forward folds. Hands on the shoulders. You could do a goddess, you can do all the way out. That's a lot of leverage. But one side and then the other side. And the out breath goes on the tighter of the sides. Let's keep going. 30 more seconds. Really put the breath on it, all the breathing in the nose. Put all that oxygen in your bloodstream. And let's bring the right hand to the left knee and the left hand either right behind you or all the way around, grabbing your pocket, your leg, or your foot. I'm going to stand with the hand behind me today. Sit up really tall as we pull the shoulder back. And we're going to gently look back at the eye line, which is the shelf or the whatever's on your eye line. A yellow guitar with the green pick. The green pick is at my eye line. Great. Let's come all the way over to the other side. So left hand grabbing the right knee, right hand behind you. Shoulder back, head going for the ride. Good, back to center. Let's come to hands and knees. We're gonna do a bit of cat and cow. Knees are 2 fists apart, hips over the shoulders, shoulders over the wrist. We drop the belly, looking up, third eye, and then arching the back. And moving, please, with the breath. I'm closing my eyes on this one. The movement is too much for open eyes for me. And sometimes when I do a quicker breath, if the movement is quick, I breathe in my mouth. It's probably an influence from too much Wim Hof. But if you can keep it in the nose, keep it in the nose. Good, back to center. We're going to look over the right shoulder and see the tail. And then all the way over to the other side, please. And then back to center. Let's come to the knees because we are going to do camel. I am coming on to my toes. If you're real open in your back, you can have the feet flat. Put the thumbs in the back, fingers in the front, elbows together. We're going to look up at the ceiling. And this is what I would only do. I lift the heart a little bit. But if you want, hands down on the heels, tighten the legs though, and lift the heart. Otherwise, we just stay with the hands in the low back. And I like to push into those muscles a little bit there. Let's breathe. Very nice. Back down into a little more cat-cow. Belly drops down, arching the back. The breath in is when the belly drops down. We arch the back on the out breath. And we keep moving. Good. To center again, we look over the right shoulder. And then please to the other side. Good. We're going to come up to standing at the top of the mat, and I'm going to pretend my top of the mat is right over here. So I'll give everyone a moment to come up to standing at the top of the mat. And we are going to do warrior 2 by stepping the left foot back about the distance of one of our legs. I'm going to get a little more distance for warrior 2 so that my foot's coming out a little further, then arms up. We're going to take several breaths right here. Dropping the shoulders, holding the core, looking at the right hand. And we're going to turn the right hand so the palm faces the ceiling. And we're going to arch back, barely touching the back leg, keeping the knee over the ankle, looking up along the elbow to the ceiling. And we're going to breathe here. Core is engaged a little bit. It feels weird engaging the core here, but do your best. Good. Straight that right leg, and we're going to pivot. So right toes 45, left toes out. And we'll do warrior 2 now, facing out the back of the mat with the left foot being the front foot. And we'll drop the shoulders, hold the core, breathing in the nose. And we're going to turn that left hand so the palm faces the ceiling. And we arch back again, barely touching the back leg. Breathing, doing our best to engage the core a little bit. Great. Straight that left leg. We pivot again. Left toes 45, right toes out. I'm going to shorten the stance a tiny, like 1 inch at the most for triangle. We're going to reach out the right hand over the straight right leg. Both legs are straight. We're going right hand down, maybe just on the shin. Left arm up, maybe looking to the reaching left hand. We're going to breathe here. Good, up again, and we'll pivot so we can do the other side of triangle. We're going to reach out over that left foot, which is running straight out. The back foot's about 45 degrees-ish. And back hand down. We're looking up to the right hand. And breathe here. Good, back up. We pivot again. Left toes 45, right toes out. I'm going to do warrior two again, so I have re-lengthened my stance. That inch I took away from it for triangle. It's going to take a moment here in warrior two. We're going to do extended side angle by taking the center of the right forearm on the leg near the knee, and left arm up and over. And we look up along the elbow to the ceiling, and we're going to breathe here. You could put the right hand down. Most of you know that, so you probably already have, if that's what you wanted to do. Great. Back up. We straight the right leg so we can pivot that right foot, and we're going to get warrior two with the left foot being in the front. Good, and when you're ready, forearm on the leg, right arm up and over. Good, back up. We're going to do horse. So both toes are slightly splayed. The knees are opening up, and we're going to hold the ceiling. We're breathing here and everywhere. Excellent. Let's stand. And we turn the feet to run straight forward. And we're going to touch the ceiling. And then we're going to come all the way down and touch the floor. You could take the feet apart further if it's very difficult to forward fold. Bring the palms down if it's easy, elbows down, head definitely down. Keep the legs as straight as you can. Good. Back up. We're going to reach out to the ends of the fingers, and then behind the back, we're going to intertwine those fingers. You push the palms together. It will restrict the movement, but it's nicer on the upper back. Palms apart is fine, just goes more into the shoulders. Go forward fold again. Then breathe here. Good. Back up. Let's touch the ceiling this time. And then back down. We're going to grab shins, ankles, or big toes, legs straight, elbows pulling away from the ears no matter what you're holding on to. And we stay down low, both hands over to the right, left shoulder under and through. We're going to hold a couple breaths. And then over, please, to the other side, right shoulder under and through. Good. Let's come up, and we're going to step up to the top of the mat, if you have a mat. So we'll be at the top of the mat because we're going to do some balancing. And I guess you could be at any part of the mat if you like. But we're going to stand on the left foot for warrior number 3. I like hands of the heart, lots of different variations. Do the one you like. And we're going to lift the right foot up, trying to get the body parallel to the earth with the standing leg straight. May or may not happen. Keep on breathing. Do the best you can. Get where you can. Push a little bit, but not too much. And Ardha Chandrasana, if you like, left hand down, right arm up. Just stay here a couple of breaths today. I'm going to stay here. Those of you that want to are welcome to switch the hands. Great. Let's stand. And we're going to do the other side. Standing on the right, hands to the heart, or however you did it, we're going to lift the left. Try to make a big capital letter T or somewhere close to that. And Ardha Chandrasana, if you like, right hand down, left arm up. We're going to stay here a little longer if you want to switch the hands. I'm not doing that tonight. All right, let's stand again. More balancing. On the left foot, we will be doing tree, lifting the right leg. You can hold the ankle. You can push the foot against the leg, getting a lock. You could also put it out in the front. Hands of the heart are all the way up, and we're going to breathe right here. Great, let that down. You can move around a little bit if you like. And then ultimately, we're going to stand on the right, and we lift the left. We do something similar to what we did on the other side. We're going to stay a little longer. This maybe should be called the flamenco pose rather than tree. Great. Let that down and move around a little bit. We got some more balancing. We're going to back to the left. We're going to lift the right knee is pointing straight forward, right hand grabs the knee, left hand on the hip. You could, as per normal, grab the big toe, extend the leg out. I'm just going to hold the knee, core in, shoulders back, standing tall and straight, breathing in the nose. We're going to open that leg out to the right as we look over the left shoulder. Back to center, show me the bottom of your foot. Great, let that down, we'll step it out a little bit. We're going to do the other side. So standing on the right, the knee comes up, the hip stays where it is. So the hip is here when standing, and then when that leg comes up, the hip doesn't come up. We try to keep it. And we grab, and then especially if you extend the leg, try not to have that hip come up kind of crooked if you can avoid it. We're going to stay here and breathe. We're going to open that leg out to the left as we look over the right shoulder. Again, back to center, leg out on its own, please. Excellent, let that down. We're gonna have the feet under the hips, toes slightly splayed, and we're coming down into a squat, elbows pushing against the legs, hands in prayer pushed together, and we're gonna lengthen up the back. We're gonna take several breaths right here. Great opportunity to do headstand if you like. Good. Hands in prayer straight forward. We're coming all the way up to the ceiling. And then all the way back down, hands in prayer straight forward. Then all the way up again to the ceiling. And back down. And again, all the way up. And back down. And one more for the cracky ankles, all the way back up. And back down. Let's come to hands and knees and just hang out in the hands and knees for a moment. We'll take a couple of breaths here. We're going to step the right foot top of the mat. And we're going to scoot that foot a little further forward and then the arms up like our funnel. Breathing all the time, letting the hips drop down a bit. Great, let's take that left elbow outside the right leg. Hands in prayer pulling towards the chest, fingers to the face. You could stay here. You could straighten that left leg coming onto the ball of the foot if you like, lifting the knee. Let's breathe anyways. In session for an hour. Okay, put it on your door. All right. All right. Right knee back, left foot up at the top, and arms up again. And we're going to breathe here. Let's twist the other side, right elbow outside, hands in prayer. And you could, again, if you lifted the knee, rolling back on the foot, we'll do the same. And breathing all the time. Great. Let's switch it again. Right foot up to the top and hands straight up. We're going to breathe here. Feel the tightness in my left quad tonight, even in the hip too. We'll keep breathing. What is my body saying to me? What? Mozzarella sticks? That's what my body's saying to me? Okay, down on the inside, right hand right inside of the right foot. I'm going to bring my right foot out a little bit to make sure my knee is directly over the ankle, just for my body size. You could walk the hands forward. You can put the elbows down. I'm not going to. Let's breathe here. Very nice. Let's do the other side. Right knee back, left foot up there to the top, and arms straight up. We'll take a few breaths here again. Good. Down on the inside. I'm going to move my foot out about an inch just to keep the knee over the ankle. And we breathe here. We're going to stay a little longer. That was the first time someone knocked at my door during the yoga class. It's Rob. He was on my podcast. He was a monk for 6 or 7 years. Good. Back to hands and knees. I'm going to scoot back so you can see better. And still get really aware that the hips are over the knees and the knees are about 2 fists apart. We're going to turn the right hand, and the shoulder is still above the wrist and the hand, but the right hand we're turning in to face the left, and we're going to feed the left arm through, and we'll stay here. You can push against the ground, or you can bring the hand up and around. Good. Let's come up and we'll set up the other side. So left hand turning in and then right arm feeding through down onto the shoulder. You push the hand against the mat or up and around. So whatever you did on the other side. Good. Back up. And we're going to orient ourselves to sit down to do our core work. So we will be on the tail. I got a nice piece of carpeting underneath me. And let's start with the heels or the feet on the mat, but just with the legs bent, because we're going to take the left elbow outside of the right leg, getting a twist here. Right hand's behind you. And then over to the other side, right elbow outside of the left leg. And again, we look at the eyeball line on the wall and then back to center. And this is 1 of 5. We roll back under the tail. You could stay here holding the legs. You can let go, lock the shoulders back, straight the legs, hands in prayer third eye or towards the toes, or even hands behind the head. Let's breathe. Great. Cross the legs, grab the shins, sit up tall. I blew it, I didn't do the twist. So we're going to do this one. So all the way back up, please. I love that one. We do it so much. It's just so burned into my DNA at this point. It's good. Cross the legs, sit up tall, shoulders back and down. And up again, number 3. Cross the legs, sit up tall. And number 4, up again. We're going to stay here a little longer. After number 4, we're going to go back to that twist I promised earlier. Good. Put the heels down, left elbow outside of the leg, right hand behind you. And then over to the other side, right hand. So we did the combo version today. Great. One more time, back up on the tail. All right, hug the knees in. Let's lie back. And we're going to try to get the forearms up on the shins and pull them down and bring the nose up towards the knee, both knees. And we're going to pull down pretty hard. Very nice. We're going to put the feet down flat. We're doing bridge. We're actually going to thread the needle before we do bridge. So let's everybody put the feet down flat with the legs bent. And we're going to bring the right ankle up and over the left knee down on the inside. And right hand is coming through the legs, grabbing either the shin or the underside of the leg. And the other hand meets it. And we lay back as best we can. And you could flex the feet. I like doing that. It's up to you. We're going to stay here longer. Keep on breathing, looking at the ceiling or the sky. All right, let's switch it. Left ankle up and down on the inside, left hand feeding through. And again, we lay back. Right hand comes around and the hands are intertwined fingers holding either the shin or the underside of the leg. Breathing on flexing the feet. Good. Back to feet being on the ground. Feet and knees 2 fists apart. Longest finger almost touches the heel. We're going to do bridge. And of course, you're welcome to do Badakanasana. But for bridge, we lift the hips, we tuck the shoulders, intertwine the fingers, push the arms down, the hips up, and we're going to stay right here. Great. Back down. You can hug the knees in for a moment. You can make a decision too, whether you want to go and put your legs up the wall or whether you want to do a plow and shoulder stand, which is what I'm going to do. So we're going to start, for those of you doing the other inversion work, up the wall is real nice. I'm going to do that later tonight. But we're going to start with plow, kicking the feet up and over the head. I'm going to keep my hands on my back tonight so I can push the hips a little more towards the feet and away. You're welcome to interlace the fingers and push the arms on the mat. And we're going to breathe here, full 5 breaths. And if the hands are not on the back, we put them there now. And we're going to lift the toes up into the ceiling. Heavy shoulders, heavy elbows, lighten the head. We're breathing, we're looking at the feet. Allow the internal organs to hang down a little bit inside of you. We're going to take a nice long run here. Very nice. Bend the legs down into dead bug. We roll. Knees in the armpits, holding the feet so the soles of the feet are up at the ceiling. Head down. You can rock around. You can stay still. While we're in dead bug, think about whether you want to get a belt, because we're going to do the leg pose that where the belt is very helpful on that one. Unless you're real flexible, you can grab the big toe. You can also grab the back of the leg and by the calf. But anyways, a little more in this dead bug today. Good. And we're going to lay down flat unless you need to go get your strap, which I needed to do. So we're going to try to keep the shoulders at least close to on the ground. It's easier with the strap to keep it down, but if you're grabbing the toe, it can come up. We're going to do left on left. So left foot strap, left hand holding that, trying to keep the shoulder down on the ground. And we're going to breathe here. And let's allow that left leg to fall out to the left as we reach out and look to the right. Good, and back up. And we're going to switch hands on the strap of the foot or the leg. And we're going to have this leg come all the way over to the right. The hip will come up. We're going to reach out and look to the left. Good. Back up to center. Just hands up towards the heel, nose towards the knee, doing your best to hold the right leg locked down. Excellent. Put that leg down, and we're going to lift the right leg up and do right on right. And trying to keep our shoulder down, but also trying, if you're using the strap, to get as close to the foot as you can. So trying to find that even ground there as best as we can. And we're going to let that leg fall out to the right as we look and reach out to the left. And all the way up with switching hands on the leg or the strap. And let that leg fall to the left as the hip comes up. And we're going to reach out and look to the right. And back up to center, both hands up towards the heel, nose towards the knee. Very nice. Let that down. And you could stay laying down if you like. I'm going to sit into a meditation, which I will set us up. I'm going to sit on my rolled up mat. So I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. Most of the instructions can be the same if you want to take the meditation laying down. But for the seating, we want the shoulders back a bit, the core in a tiny little bit. When you're laying down, it is a little easier. Intertwine fingers, thumbs touching, or one hand on top of the other. I'm going to become aware of the body breathing itself. So initially, we start by letting the breath return to normal and seeing if we can remain occupied just on experiencing that really magic act of the body just breathes itself and we don't have to help. If you cannot stay focused on that, and some days it's not easy or anywhere near easy, we can continue to breathe the body like we did during the yoga class, just breathing in and out through the nose. So we're controlling the breath and also experiencing it, watching it with the watching mind, with the eyes closed watching. If you need a bit more, and some days we sure do, we will count the breath that we are controlling. And when we get to 11, we will go back to 1, and we're going to stay here. All right, if you chose to lay down, you want to finish out with everyone as a group here, you can roll up to a seated position. And once sitting, we're going to bring the hands to the heart center, rubbing them together, making our fire. All righty, big funnel up in the sky with the hands. We're going to take a breath in through the nose as much as we can get. We're going to breathe in more through the mouth, and even more. We're going to hold the breath, tighten the core, tighten the legs, and lift the floor. And then let everything out. Reliving your dream, don't miss it. Namaste. Thank you for coming out tonight. It is DanielOverberger.com. You can find links to my Venmo and PayPal there for those of you that are on the YouTube. I'm going to stop the recording.